Hi, I'm going to teach you how to digitize a daffodil in Embird Stduio, but before doing that I'll just show you how to draw your daffodil. To start with, I'm using zonerdraw3, which is the free version of zonerdraw. Okay, now as you can see I have all the parts to my daffodil. I started off with this part, and just to get a shape like a leaf we're just going to go onto the oval tool and just draw an oval. Very simple. Now that's actually filled in with yellow, so I'm just going to change the colour to white for the fill-in. Gone off your screen, not a problem. Okay, I'm going to bring in a colour, black, for the outline. Now you have your shape, and I've set the width at 1. Now we're going to just edit that, so click on your edit tool, hit it with your curve tool, hold down your shift key and grab that top one and just bend it over. That you have your leaf, go back to your select tool and just drag it in to whatever width you want it. Okay, now I've just filled that with green and done an outline of dark green, so I'll just get rid of that off the screen. So that was the first leaf that I did. Then I did a Control D to duplicate it, and then I went up and flipped it using this tool here, and that gave us the second leaf, which was this one. I'll just move this out of the way. Okay, so I moved that one into place. Again, I duplicated, reduced it down in size, and that gave me the third one. Again, I just duplicated it, changed the size of it, and that's given me my fourth leaf. Now to draw the stalk for the daffodil, I changed my colour to dark green. I just selected a green off here. I changed my width to 3. I got my drawing tool and made sure I had the squiggly tool, as I call it, selected, and then all I did was just use that for the stalk of my daffodil, which was this one here. And then I just select it and moved it into place. Okay, so I'll just delete that one, select this and move it into place. Now if it's not quite long enough, you can just change the size of it. Now I've actually moved that to the back. It was on the front. Now that shape for those leaves as they place now are not that good, so you can edit it. Now you'll notice you've got a lot of dots editing tools there, so you might have to zoom in to get a closer look at those. Alright, I'm just going to leave that at the moment as it is. I'll just move it over here a bit, and I'm going to just move it to the back using this tool. Okay, now it came to actually do the daffodil itself. The first one I draw is this one. I removed the outline by clicking on that and bringing in the cross. That doesn't give you an outline. Then I changed the colour on this side to yellow. Got my shape tool, did a circle, went to the edit tool, hit it with a hammer as I call it, hold down the shift key and just drag this up to get my shape of my petal. I just brought it down in size. Just delete it. Now the first petal I do is at 12 o'clock. The next petal I do is at 5 o'clock. To rotate these, all you do is just right click and spin. Okay, so now I'm going to duplicate again and put one in between those two. Duplicate again and bring one in here. Duplicate again and bring it in here. To do the circles, I just use the circle tool and change the colour of it, did a duplicate, brought it in, get rid of that, select it, bring it in smaller, change the colour of it, and using my shift key I can move it into place to where I want it. Okay, and I actually changed the colour of that back circle. You can group those together and go to Objects, Combine. So our objects group, and that's group them. That way when you move them, they move together. Okay, so I moved that into place. The stalk went to the back. This leaf came to the front. You can then, by holding down your Shift key, select each one of these parts, and you'll see a little dot appear. That means you've selected that part. Dot for that one, dot for that one, objects, group. Now I can actually just nudge these into place. Okay, you can have that leaf at the back if you want to, not a problem. If you move that one there, just move it to the back. Don't forget, you'll have to remove that to the back as well. Okay, once you've finished, you can select them all, objects, group, and I'm just going to move them into the center. To make it easier to work in Stduio for the size that I want, because I've got my work area set for 4 inches, I'm actually going to draw a square around there. I'm going to remove the fill, and I'm going to add an outline. Doesn't matter what color you do this. Okay, now I can just File, Export. I'm going to export it into the folder I want to use. I'm going to call it Daffodil 3, and I'm going to save it. Select OK. Now you can also save that a zoner file. If you want to save it into the same folder, you can then bring that back into your program and use those parts for another drawing. You have your leaves there, you have your petals there if you want to do another flower. So I'll just say save. Okay, I'll see you in Embird Stduio.